Hello friends, good morning. Today is a quick video on finding false breakouts with order flow, especially with the high volatility environments. False breakouts are more likely to happen than, let's say, low volatility environments. Okay, and false breakouts are something which is one of the toughest thing to happen to a trader typically, right? Because you analyze the level well, you look at all the metrics, you look at all the supports, resistances, and find a good level, and if you get stuck into a false and then price breaks through that range, and if you get stuck into either a breakout on the upside or on the breakout on the downside, breakdown we might call it. Okay, and then market reverses, right? So it's something, it's one of the toughest thing to happen to a trader. Okay, given that the nature of the markets is random, we cannot really kind of avoid a false breakout or a breakdown. But what we can do is try to find out early if that happens, and either close a trade, reverse a trade, or find a contrarian trading opportunity, right? So typically, what is it? It is basically price breaches a known level, common level, and pulls back sometimes sharply and sometimes over a couple of rotations that pullbacks may happen. Okay, that is typically what is a false breakout or a breakdown. Also known as liquidity hunting, because price tends to breach below your liquidity options essentially, and then once it is there, it grabs all the liquidity, all the orders lying there, and then typically pulls back on the other side. Okay, decision point becomes, if this is a what is a generally, I think what is a challenge or traders face, and I also face a lot of times, is once this is happening, we are not certain whether this is a pullback and then market will rotate back down there, or is this a trend reversal, right? I think this is where the challenge happens. I'll share you a few quick tips on in terms of determining, like how we can pick this up early through order flow. Couple of very quick, very effective tips, okay, and the next few slides, and then try to apply it to your trading, and you will see results quickly. Okay, method one is using the VPOC of the candle. So do you know that the concepts of auction market theory, concepts of value, concepts of VPOC are applied across time frames. So you can use it on a daily chart, you can use it on a weekly, monthly chart, and you can also boil it down to a candle level analysis. Okay, this is only visible through order flow charts. Okay, by the way, all the charts here are we're using go charting templates. Go charting has a complete order flow, volume profile, market profile suite. Have a look at those templates if you're already not using it, and it's an extremely effective and solid tool which I've been using for years now. Okay, now in this case, what we are trying to do is watch the candle VPOC at the break of the breakaway candle. So here, this is my breakaway candle, which has sort of broken below the candle lows. Okay, and once we have this breakaway candle, what I try to do is I watch the VPOC of this candle. In this case, the VPOC is marked. The software will do the marking for you, so you don't have to do. You just have to enable it. Okay, we'll mark the VPOC here. For example, the VPOC is here in this candle. Okay, and and then what we are trying to do is whether the subsequent candles price is holding or into the VPOC or not holding into the VPOC, right? Okay, we want to find that out. What has happened is, in this case, if you see, subsequent candles did not even come to the VPOC of this candle, and price ended up pulling back. So a very quick and effective technique is watch if you are able to hold into the VPOC or not of the breakaway candle. So find your breakaway candle which is broken down below a level, and see whether price is holding into the VPOC or not. If price is not holding below the VPOC of that candle, it is very early sign that this could be a false breakout or a breakdown, and you might want to reverse or close the trade. Okay, the breakaway candle is one which is breaking out of that support or a resistance level typically for you. Okay, this is method number one. Method number two is using the value zone of the candles. As I said, the auction market theory and everything is applied across value zones, across time frames. Okay, so each candle has its own value zone also found, which is basically nothing but the 70% area of that candle. So in this candle, this is the value zone for me. Okay, in this candle, this is the value zone for me. What I am trying to see is, for the breakout candles, if the market is trying to hold into the value zone or not. So whichever candle marks the at that point the high or the low of the day, we do not know whether it's a new high or a new low, but whichever marks the high or the low of the day, if the prices are able to hold into the value zone or not. So if you see, this was the value zone, and then prices pulled back, and in the next subsequent candle it was below the value zone, not even entering into the value zone, which is a good sign that market is not able to trade within this value range. So when it's outside a value, same auction market theory, it will probably have a trend move, and this is what happens. Market does a trend move on this side. Okay. And finally, I'll also share a technique of whether we want to see market is actually doing a pullback and might likely to continue into the trend or not. Okay, so this is a variation of the second method that I shared. To see if the trend continuation is where the price fails to guess past the values on a breakaway candle. So in this case, this was my breakaway candle. If you see this large candle, and the value zone of this candle was this to this zone, right? The high of the value zone was this line which I have marked. What has happened is after this move down, price is pulled back. Okay, and then there was no close above the value zone of this candle, roughly plus minus a few points here and there, and then prices again rotated back to make a new lows. Okay, so this is a good sign of seeing whether my, if I have a large breakaway candle, I want to see whether price can hold into the value zone of that candle or not.